Ladies and gentlemen, Rob Jolles.
Everybody get up.
All right. I like mine better. That's all I'm going to say. I was asked to put together a promotional video, so I did. I didn't think it was that complicated. I have to tell you that it was about 22 years ago that I met Toyota, and I met him at Xerox Document University, and then I did some further work a couple years later, and then it's been a while. So to come back here a couple of decades later and be able to stand on this stage and grab this clicker and talk to you thrills me to death. And I am excited about it. We got 2 hours together, and my job is to make it feel like 2 minutes together because we got a huge topic to talk about. You've been talking about it for 5 days. I'm just curious. All the sales training and conversation you've had, if I asked you just to define what it is you're doing when you're selling, I'm just curious how that would look. So I've got a chart over here. These are I'm just going to take some notes over here. I'll let you watch up here. But I'm going to give you 4 choices, and all I want you to do is tell me what your definition is. So for instance, if I said maybe doing what you say you're going to do, that would be your definition of selling. Maybe your definition of selling is listening to the client and taking the needs of that client and then providing solutions to those needs. Maybe it's the act or the art of persuading clients to fix or address existing problems, or maybe it's your ability to link the specific needs of the client to the benefits of your idea or your solution. Okay, lock in your votes, no write-ins, you can't vote for 2. We got about 250 in here, so I'll do my best on some quick counting. Let's go right from the top. How many of you with your one and only vote would say, you know what, it's right there. It's doing what you say you're gonna do. Hand up. And that's very comforting, isn't it? Okay, that's, all right. Maybe that isn't the definition of selling. Maybe we're defining integrity there. I'll get us off the hook. I believe we went 0 for 250 on that one. Okay. So, how about the second one? How about listening to the client and then taking the needs of that client and then providing solutions to those needs? How many like that one? All right, let me see. Good, 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 good. Don't try this at home. 126, 127, carry the 6. Okay, 129. 129. Now, when you read any of my books, you're going to be suspect on those numbers, aren't you? Okay, persuading clients to fix existing problems or concerns. And we're 0 for. Okay, and 250 and carry the 7. 1, 3, 2, 6, and that's about 1 for the day. Okay, good. That meant Jolles couldn't quite get that 150, not 250 number, but it's a lot. Okay. So you like those 2 areas, and that's fine. But look at the next one. I know that you've gone through these hours and days and careers. We just had a dealership that trains every single day. So with all that training, my question is this. How many of you believe clients, customers go through repeatable, predictable steps when they make a decision to buy? Just kind of grunt along. That makes sense. The guy's talking about something. All right? How many of you have been trained on that? I mean, quote me that for a second. Or is it irrelevant? You see, I'm of the thought that if I can track the way this gentleman thinks, and I can, 6 stages, 3 critical decision points, why in the world would I prounce around on this stage and tell you how to sell until we start there? Because maybe that's going to apply logic. Or would that be irrelevant? Let's just throw another sales tactic at you. Let's just go ahead and do some more training. No, we start there. And if you don't believe that clients go through predictable steps, hang tight because I'm going to prove it to you. And if I can prove it to you, won't that be one of the first questions you ask for the rest of your career before you touch a sales tactic? Where's my client? Then we can get rid of scripts, we can get rid of straitjackets, and we can start thinking and breathing based on real decision cycles that people are going through. So let's flip the question a little bit. Let's define buying. Now, I will tell you, in my 22 years since I've left Xerox, I frequently ask about cars. They're major ticket items, and just about everybody has one. However, this audience, I'm not. I think the numbers will be skewed. So I'll ask you about your home. So with regards to your home, here's the question. Is it absolutely perfect? You have the perfect home. You did it. You live in Perfectville on Perfect Hill. No, nobody's pulling an engine out in front of your house. No, sir. You're here. The kids are down over there. You did it. Neighbors friendly, not too friendly. It's perfect. Second one says, you know what? Okay, it's not perfect, but it's really good. It's good enough. Maybe 3, 4, 5 years from now, you'll significantly remodel, or maybe you'll move, but right now, you're not going anywhere. Third area, fed up. Amazing I'm even asking you the question, because if you weren't here in Dallas, you'd probably be on the phone with a realtor right now. Something's happened in the last 24 to 48 hours, probably, that's got you absolutely on the move, and you have made a decision for change. And the fourth one says, you're looking. I don't want any whiners here. I want to know who's got a for sale sign in the front yard, multiple listings, kicking around the coffee table, out in open houses every other weekend. You are in the market. Let's see where you stand. Let's start with the perfect people, okay? How many of you here would say absolutely dead on perfect? Don't be ashamed, be proud. Got it. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 10. Got it. Okay. Okay, I'm going to hit this one last. Anybody in the fed up category? I mean, just, wow, the guy's reading my mind. I am right there. Just, we're lining up the realtors, but I haven't made any calls yet. Fed up. It's funny because I'm counting 0 for 250. Normally the numbers aren't quite that bad. It's about a 0.5 percentage point. We've been polling for about 16 years now. And funny that we seem to always want to find that one. Me too. They're just not a whole lot of them. But we'll take this one. So who right here, I'm not going to sell you a house, honest. Who right here is looking for a home? Go. Got it. 1, 2, 3-ish. Oh, for this side, huh? Not a lot of home. There it is, 4, 5, got it. 6, okay. And I'm gonna round up because I can't see so well. I'm gonna call it 10. So we got 10 and 10, and then this makes it easy. We're gonna call this 230. There seems to be a rather large number there, but doesn't surprise me. It's actually a little larger than I've seen, but that number's always big. That's the, hey, I'm not moving, but I'm not thrilled with where I live. Interesting. Interesting. Of those 230 that didn't put up their hand, last polling question, then I got work to do. I just want to know how long you felt that way. So of these 230 people that are saying, I'm kind of in that hurts but doesn't hurt category, how many of you just realized that in the last 6 months? You've only been aware of it for 6 months or less. It's a rather new feeling. 6 months or less. Got it. Assuming there are numbers there too. Got it. Okay, not a ton. I'll give you 10. Maybe a half a year to a year. Now we're picking up some steam. 10, 15, 20. Okay. Maybe a year to 2 years, actually. Been a while. Got it. Yep. Okay. Wow. You see it? Do you see it? Probably. These 3 people can. You might want to look at where the clients appear to be, and then maybe we could revisit our definition for selling a little bit. Don't worry about reading my handwriting. We're 0 for the room on the definition of selling. See, that's why I wanted to have 2 hours with you. See, I think we do a real good, and let me explain what I mean, and I'll tell you where we're going and how we're going to get there. You see, we keep defining sales as listening and taking needs, and that's beautiful. My goodness, can you imagine anybody saying, we've got new data, listening is out. We're no longer going to listen. It's been proven false. It's a crazy thing. Of course we're going to listen to the client. And believe me, I want to take as many needs from the client as possible. As a matter of fact, we certainly have all heard about needs-based selling. Tell me what you need. I'm going to offer you a solution, features and benefits. Here we go. You know what? It's interesting. I'd like to take those client needs and linking the specific needs of the client, the benefits, and that's a sales guy just throwing some sales words at you. It's the same definition. So I defined it the same way. I just changed some words around. So we've got the entire room basically saying our job is to listen and take needs. Our job is to link needs to our job is to work with needs. Terrific. There's 230 people out of 250 in this room that say they don't have any needs. Now what? Go ahead and ask them during the next break. They'll tell you, just say, what do you need? Nothing. I'm not thrilled with what I got, but I don't need anything yet. I haven't. There's a line in the sand, you see. We'll talk about this some more. I'll cheat and tell you a little bit about it right now. There's a line in the sand. We nicknamed it the fix, don't fix line. It's the first decision point a client makes. See, they can whine, complain, moan all they want. And by the way, 150 of the 230 been there for more than 2 years. So not only do they whine and complain, they seem to whine and complain a lot for a long time. Okay? And then what do we keep doing? I'm whining and complaining, and we're offering solutions. Whining, complaining, solutions. See the disconnect? See, what I want to do, I want to spend my time here. If you've got people looking for some solutions, terrific. You can go ahead and check your Blackberries. You don't have to listen to me. But if you've got some clients out there who say, you know what, I know that we're losing some clients when their Toyota Care expires. We're losing some clients, when they buy a car from us and then they don't really buy anything else from us. We're losing clients perhaps when they're taking their service to someplace else. But it's not that bad. It hurts, just doesn't hurt that badly. Today, I want to change minds. I don't want to talk about the solution. I want to talk about the problem. It's critical. See, here's where we're going to go. I've got a game plan. My game plan goes like this. I can't in 2 hours sales train you, but in 2 hours I can hit one sweet spot. And that sweet spot is right on that line. So we're going to talk about influence and manipulation, the difference between the two, because I am going to show you something that it's not passive. You know, it's funny, those definitions were really good. My definition kind of isn't up there. I mean, the closest one was persuading clients to fix existing problems. Of course, that's what I was looking for, and we went over in here, and that's all right. But you know what my definition of selling is? And I won't ask you to do this often, but you might want to write this down, and then when I'm not looking, you can cross it out again, okay? But I believe whenever you step up here, in one sentence, I ought to be able to tell you what we're going to do. I don't care whether I'm talking for 5 minutes or 5 hours. So I'm going to give it to you in one sentence, and here it is. I think the definition of selling is the art of taking an idea, planting that idea in somebody else's brain, and making them feel like they thought of it. I'll say it again. Taking an idea, planting it in somebody else's brain, and making them feel like they thought of it. And now you see why the first thing we're going to do out of the gate is we're going to talk about the difference between influence and manipulation. Because that one worries me a little bit. And yet, I'm going to fight for it for 2 hours up here. So we're going to talk about that. We get done with that, we're going to talk about the decision cycle. I'm going to show you exactly how people make decisions. I'll show you the decision points. I want to get your buy-in on that one. Because once we do that, then we're going to back up. And we're going to talk about style a little bit. One of my concerns is guys like me will blow onto a stage and boom, we'll talk about selling and styles, and we don't really even address it. Selling, selling, selling. Well, I'm looking at 250 people, and I'm guessing there's probably 245 different styles in here. How does that play out? Can anybody sell? It's a style issue. Let's put that one to rest, and we will. Then we'll turn our target to two things. Just two things I want today. One, I want to talk about trust. Now, Mike told you he met me at Xerox. Nutty company. You don't tie your shoe with Xerox without some kind of process. But the funny thing about having a process is when you have a process, you have a way of measuring what you're doing. And when you can measure it, you can fix it. And that's why today I hope it's entertaining. I hope I can inspire you. I hope I can motivate you. But my goal is to have you leave that door with at least 2 repeatable, predictable processes that you can repeat when you get out of here. And one of them is going to be around trust. I'm tired of telling people, okay, go in there and get them to trust you. Okay, no. Let's process trust. And then the most important thing I learned in my years at Xerox and what kept me in business for 22 years with a clicker in my hand is I talk about urgency. I know these dealers that you're meeting with think it'd be a good idea. They may get around to it. What you're saying's good. But I don't have time for objection handling today. So let's do it now in 2 seconds. What do you think the biggest reason why people object, not just for you, but for copier jocks like me, for insurance salesmen like me? I was a New York Life agent for a few years. For all those companies you saw up there and 50 more. What do you think the biggest objection is? It's all the same in a sense. Ready? Fear of change. This is the way we do it. You keep jumping on this side of the line, telling me what all these great ideas. I haven't even made a decision, a commitment to change. And that fear of change is huge. Urgency, we're going to move them over that line. We're going to get the best strategy we can. We come out of that, I'm a mental agility guy. I think that a lot of times we've been trained, but sometimes we've got to not just tell you, here's the tactic, but here's a way of speeding up the mind so you can utilize these tactics. Because I don't think there's a person in here who hasn't heard some of the fundamentals of selling. And yet, why don't we do some of the things we're supposed to do? Because we can't think quickly enough, and when we can't think, it's like going on a date. If I can't think quickly enough, I'm going to tell you about me, okay? Because that one I know. We got to work our way through that. So I'm going to put you through a mental agility exercise. I'm going to set the bait right now and tell you I'm going to take 10 volunteers. There'll be a competition up here to see who's the quickest in this room, and the winner will win something very special. So there will be an opportunity to prove your mental agility, but that's to come. Then we're going to do a role play. Actually, we're going to do 2. That style exercise is going to be a role play. Twice we're going to role play in here. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to sell some things. And we get done with that, I'm going to finish with what I call the criteria stage, which is, I told you, I'm a guy that likes to take measurements. I don't want to look at my client and go, kind of looks like they're ready for change. I want to figure out what questions I can ask to prove it's time for me to offer solutions. I want to take the guesswork out. So we're going to put some trial closes in there that I think you'll like. That's the game plan. That's where we're going. And when we're done, I think not only are you going to learn some ideas that are going to help you on the job, I think this is going to help Toyota, and I think it's going to help you personally, because this wasn't written just for the banks or the Toyota or all the different companies I work for. This is the way people make decisions. If you have children, if you have friends, all of them. Sometimes we need to help them change their mind.